much. I'll end up reading those at some point. Upcoming patches make look to changes brought in this patch as we continue. Okay, so they're just gonna revise this patch basically. Cool. Okay. Mechanical Titan, silver, gadget skin. Is this gold? Gold steel? Low key? I'd buy that, no cap. If it's within reason. Gold steel kind of sleeper OP. I kind of hope they bring back the original gadget skin, to be honest. I'm surprised it still isn't in the game. Casters, major shooting damage output, melee focused. Melee magical armor increases per level. This per level, right? And so does magical. Bro, Pen's gonna be so good now. You might go like Caustic a third. That's like a huge increase in base prots. Wait, is this like level 1? Hold on. This is so confusing because this says like this is, oh, this is just magical armor. I thought the top one was, okay, I misread this. These are both magical. Okay, never mind. And then Countess, I guess they're doing physical like per character, but magical is just across the board. Okay, never mind. Cut starts into tank meta. Good. Wait, nerfed? I mean, slightly nerfed on the ult. Both physical armor, but they reduced the cooldown on the right click. Or wait, no, that's healing decrease. I thought that was cooldown. Never mind. Yeah, she got like, this doesn't actually even matter that much, like at all. Irrelevant nerfs. More armor on crunch. Tank crunch gonna be better. Increased damage. Increased AP scaling. So it just does more damage on the ability. It does true damage and has a lower cooldown. I don't know why they're buffing crunch. He's already like giga busted in solo lane. Lowered scaling on the right click. Are they just shifting the scaling to the Q? That's what it seems like. I feel like that just makes crunch better though, because now you just do true damage, and if it's going to be a tank meta, then he's going to do better with true damage anyways, so like increasing the Q damage. Interesting. Stasis bomb. Lowering damage, keeping mana cost high, good. Puts her kind of more in line with like Richter, like if you throw the stun out, you have to beware of your mana. Lower the Q cooldown, buffs her mid lane, late game. Drungo tankier. A lot tankier. Fagmal less HP but more defense. Good for him. Gadget health increase. Gadget just tankier. Passive damage reduced. I wonder if the scaling is a scaling decrease affect the shield size. I don't know if this affects the shield size or is it just the damage on the shielding. I assume that affects the shield size though. I don't know. I don't play Gadget enough. Lowering Gideon across the board, it seems like. Decreasing the right click cooldown late game, but increasing it early game. You don't really level it first anyways. Lowering black hole damage, good. Gideon's insane. Probably still going to be insane after this. Doesn't look like he does that much. They got to just remove True Silver or just lower this to like fucking 600 at max rank. The base damage on Gideon ult is insane compared to other characters. Grux buff. Tankier up front, probably the same late game. Howitzer, huge health decrease. And health growth increase. He's going to be much squishier. This affects his laning a lot, because you take that, like when you take minion aggro, it affects his laning a lot. They lowered the slow grenades, some more. Lowered some scaling on the passive. This is good. The passive still shouldn't give you mana regen. And landmine radius decrease. Gotta be hard to actually hit it behind somebody now. Probably overall good. They're buffing Kalari, excuse me. Lowering duration on the invis, but they're buffing the damage on it. Okay, but they're buffing Kalari. And you go invis faster. They're increasing the cooldown, good. But it gives a cleave, so you clear now? Why? There's such a weird change. Buffing the alt damage. Lowering the damage on the E, good. The E is busted. I'm pretty sure in-game it actually says 10%, even though it's 15% here. Read. Well, they nerfed the invis part of it, but they increased the damage part of it. 8 seconds is still way too long. 8 seconds is what it is at level 1. You level this ability last. It doesn't make it different. This is actually insane. I don't know why they buffed that. And then RMB. Most damage now applies to minions. I assume this means lane minions, because I think it applies to jungle monsters anyways. That makes her lane a little better. They lowered the slow duration. I just feel like that's a buff, man. I just feel like that's a buff. At least, like, initial. Maybe they nerfed their items or something, but, like, I feel like that's just a buff. I'm not gonna lie. Chimera's tankier. I didn't even realize Chimera had such a low health pool. Probably because you regen so much. Dude, tank Chimera? Question mark? Lower the scaling on the right click. It extends the spirit duration. 1 second when activated, a spirit duration will expire the next second. Yeah, thank God, bro. Oh, I've been asking for this for like a month, dude. Thank God they did this. So now it activates when you activate it. You get one extra second on your duration when you activate it, and then it refreshes when you land. Thank God. I've been literally asking for that forever. Huge. Huge. Kira tankier. A lot tankier. More scaling on the E. I feel like Kira's good. I don't know why they're really buffing her. I mean, she's slightly less physical armor, I guess. But, I don't know. I feel like she's already good. I mean, I don't know. Tankier early, but, like, similar late game, probably. This is also wrong. This is the Q. Because the E is the dash. Typo spotted. Make fun of him. Void bomb scaling nerfed by 5%. But they decreased delay. Oh my god. They buffed Bellica. Stop buffing Bellica. Oh my god. You know what I mean about Chimera? So when you jump as Chimera, you can lose your stacks midair. So now when you jump, you won't lose your stacks midair. It'll just give you an extra second on the duration of your passive. So then you can, like when you land, it'll then refresh at 3 seconds. So there's a lot of times where you're playing Chimera and you jump on somebody and it doesn't refresh your stacks midair, and then you like lose your stacks in the air, and then you land, and then you don't have stacks, and you just die. This stops that from happening now, which is huge buff. Thank you for explaining. Of course. Less mana on Morgash, good. Pestilence, minion damage increased. Sure. Helps are clear. RMB, they increase the scaling on the RMB. I kind of wish they would put scaling on the Q and not the RMB, because the Q is a skill shot. I kind of dislike that they did this. But that's alright. Need more Bellica buffs. Bro, I just thought, why? It was already easy to hit. Yo, big floppies. Thank you for the sub, man. I appreciate the 2 months. We'll go back to the bird nest, brother. Much appreciated. Let's see. No health, no auto activate. Thank God. Mickey Mouse auto activations. Cringe. Less movement speed, duration. 30% though. But you get no bonus health, so I think this is fine. Super low cooldown late game. I'm curious as to, like, this makes him a lot squishier because you don't have the free HP. But you're gonna gas pedal like fucking crazy in the lane. 30% is a lot. That's double Fang Mouse Shield. 100 mana late game. You don't level it till late game, or till late game anyways. Like, it's your last ability level now, I think. Because the movement speed doesn't increase with levels, so I don't think you actually level this at all. The duration also doesn't increase with levels. So the only reason you level it is for cooldown. I don't think you actually level it at all anymore. And they lowered the base damage on the right click. That's probably a good change. The right click actually does an insane amount. Muriel is just tankier. A little bit less base healing. Probably good. Fix the bug on the right click. Huge. This one, I hear a lot of people complain about this. You couldn't right click, like you couldn't pull them for a full second, like after you link them. Now you can pull people immediately. Thank God. That is a fantastic bug fix. Rampage, more HP, more armor, less armor growth. So get probably similar late game. He might be a little less tanky late game actually. Just more up front, less late game. Tech speed decrease from 20 to 30. So I didn't even know this increased with levels. I assume this increases with levels. I didn't even know that this happens. Good change, though. Gets a little too much attack speed. Get more movement speed. Mortgage gets done. I mean, he's also an ADC, so like Mortgage is a little bit more slippery. Mortgage also has Wraith leggings you have to consider. Increase the damage on the E. I mean, you level the rock anyways, so this is probably fine. Revenant, a lot tankier. Good for him. Richter, a lot tankier. 70 level 1 is actually huge, especially playing him like off lane. This is 70 level 1, but this also means you get more passive shield because your passive shield is based off your max HP. So this is actually like a huge increase. He's already top pick ADC. Well, you don't have the HP anymore. The HP difference actually makes a huge change, and you have to activate it yourself. It's not auto activate. So it has less base health. Oh no, it's less health per level. So I guess I got 200 less HP for the duration of the game. His passive now stacks target CS values, capped at 5. This is actually an insane buff. Stacks on heroes give you 5. This is an insane buff, by the way, specifically for jungle. Sevarog jungle is back, baby. Sevarog jungle is back. Yeah. Be prepared to see Sev jungle a lot. 10-minute max Sev stacks. You could probably stack at like 8 minutes in jungle, I'm going to be honest with you. 160. You get, for reference, you get 6 CS on blue buff. You get 7 on 5. This means you're getting 7 on 5, and you're getting 5 on red and blue, and then you're going to get 5 off the 2 camp. So you're literally getting like 16 stacks, 17 stacks, something like that per rotation of camps, like per side. So you're gonna get 30 per rotation, which is actually nuts. Granted, you do need a little bit more stacks now, but I don't think that matters. You get so many stacks now. The 3 to 5 on kills though, that's gonna feel really good. You get less damage per tier though. That's kind of like, that's good, I guess. I think the cap is still 300 too. It looks like the cap is still 300. You do get more bonus health per tier though. I don't know if I like that, but that's a lot. 70 extra. I guess it just offsets the health decrease that you get for levels now. Lowered the health, or lowered the scaling on Chibi ult. Pain, that's my wife. Leave her alone. Sparrow's tankier, nobody cares. Sparrow sucks. Steel tankier. This also affects his passive, which makes him a lot tankier. More physical armor growth. This means you can trade in the wave better. This means you're better as a support because you take less damage. You take less damage in jungle. I mean, just overall like an insane buff. Less health damage though. This nerfs his jungle a lot. Kind of don't like this. I don't think 5% was actually that much. I kind of don't know if I like that or not. Especially since it wasn't true damage. I don't know if I like that or not. But it's probably like not that big of a deal. The Fae is tankier. Increase slow from the Q. Ult has less scaling. That's fine. I mean, I don't think Fae really needed to be nerfed at all, really. But I mean, she's fine. Although at a tankier meta, she's probably going to rise up a little bit because you get a lot more value from the E than other mages. Ortis, duration lasts longer. CC cancels the effect. Good, thank God. You might actually be that. I wonder if you could still like refresh on kills. It's supposed to refresh when you get kills and then like give you the ability to get more stacks. But I don't know if that is fixed or not. Reflect on Razorback. Lowered. Good. Razorback's busted. I literally played a game yesterday. Took 2,000 damage from Reflect in one team fight. Very fun. Is our course passive to the completed passive alchemical rod? Good. This is actually very good. This is kind of the problem with the Zerg core actually, is that you have to finish it to get the 3.5% mana or 3.5% power, whereas Mind Razor doesn't. Mind Razor, you get it on the Chalice, which is actually a huge change. This helps a lot. This might actually make a Zerg core a lot better because you could buy the tier 2 and just sit on it. You don't actually have to finish a Zerg core, and you can just sit on it the entire time, which actually makes it way better. I don't even know what this is. Oh, this is the attack speed slow item, right? It's like Frost Guard. Yeah, it's Frost Guard. It stacks more, and then you have higher stacks. I still don't know if anybody's gonna build it. It's probably fine, but I don't know. Scalding Scepter. This is Pen. Kind of dislike this. Not a big fan of pen being reduced, especially since it's the only magical pen item, unless they added an item this patch. Especially when they're increasing pen across the board. I feel like pen should feel good. And they increased the tier 2 physical pen to 18%. I guess that makes it consistent. Deathstalker, bonus damage increased 25%. This is true damage, right? 25% true damage. Bonus true damage changed to bonus physical damage. Ooh. That's kind of a big nerf. Going from true damage to not true damage is a big nerf. Change the build on this. Demon Edge gives pen now. Does this look at the same passive? Damage again, shield target deals 30% of the remaining shield as bonus physical damage. Oh, this is just old breach. Okay. But it looks like you still keep the same passive. So it's just breach, like old breach, where you do more damage. You also get movement speed, which is pretty nice. So Demon Edge is a lot better. And it gives pen now. Oh, it doesn't give lifesteal, which kind of sucks. Interesting. Although you still get the passive lifesteal. So at least there's that. Physical pen on Dread, lowered. Good. Dread's kind of busted, honestly. A little deserved. Less on the healing, also good. Melody, less haste. Good. Empty build meta? What's empty's build? Mesmer. Eru the armor. Sure. I feel like Mesmer is fine, but that's fine. There was a lot of like hybrid magical items though, like Tectonic Mallet, Mesmer, Dread. Like all of those items get magical armor, so it's probably a good change. I don't even know what this means. It's just a bug fix anyways. Omen. You get cooldown reduction on hit. I didn't even know this item gives cooldown reduction on hit. Less scaling, but you get more cooldown reduction when you hit people. I didn't even know that occurred. Lowering the haste on Painweaver. Probably good overall. Reworked Perforator. Gives you pen. Okay. Damaging abilities slow affected units by 25%. 10% for on hits. So just a Dream Binder for physicals. But it gives you pen. Interesting. I don't think this actually... I mean, this is better than Breach for a lot of assassins, but I don't really know why you would build it other than that. Like, you don't build it for the passives, you just build it for the pen. But it's better than Breach. Well, I guess, okay, they reworked Breach. They deal physical damage in a small area around the target, so you get Cleave, okay. You can critically strike on Cleaves. The damage decreases based on the distance. Okay, but you can Cleave on ADCs. I don't know if anybody's going to build this. I don't know. At 30% attack speed, though, with 25% crit, maybe. It's super cheap, too. 2800 still. What is Cleave? Cleave means you hit an auto attack, and then it hits things around it. So it hits like an AoE. Demolisher reworked. Gains pen on the passive. So you don't get pen in the build, like in the build up anymore, I guess. D side 0 to 25% based on max HP bonus physical damage against enemy heroes with greater maximum health than you. This is probably good. It changes it more to like a tank killer item for ADCs, which is fine. And it's a pet option still. They're buffing Lightning Hawk. Why? It's so... Lightning Hawk is so busted. Why did they buff it? It's so good. Lightning Hawk is so good. Why did they buff it? They just hard nerfed. Oh wait, okay, they added a passive to it. This attacks deal 30 bonus damage on hit. Additionally, for every 1% critical strike chance and a 1.5 additional bonus physical damage on hit. So it's like a last item in crit builds type item, kind of like Tainted Rounds. That's fine. Still like probably giga busted. I think you still get this app. Probably giga busted now in the build that I normally go. You just swap it for Tainted Rounds. Lightning Hawk buff's kind of wild. Yeah, I don't know what that buff is. Lightning Hawk actually makes no sense. Augmentation buff, sure. Bone Saw. More attack speed from the passive, less stacks. So it doesn't stack as much. Like you lose 6% total, but you stack like almost instantly. And they all fall off together instead of one at a time. Interesting. Ramps up faster, falls off quicker, less total. I don't know. Read Stormbreaker again. You get bonus on hit, and then you also get on hit based on your critical damage. What do you mean? Or on your critical strike chance. And they lowered the zap passive. No. You can no longer crit? It doesn't say that you can't crit. I thought this doesn't even make sense. The way this is written, it's written the same way Revenant passes. You convert your crit into physical damage. This is like they should say that in this, because this just makes me think of Revenant passive where you just get more power. This is very poorly worded. If it takes away your crit, I don't know how good that'll be. It's probably, I don't know if that would be that good. You get what, an extra 150 damage on hit if you have 100%. I don't know how good that would actually be. But that is very poorly worded, if that's how it is. Convert. Yeah, but you could say, like, Revenant passive is worded literally the exact same way. You convert your crit chance into power. It's the same thing. But you could still crit. But I don't know how good that'll actually be. Because surely if you have 100% crit, you're just hitting harder than 150 power would be. But I don't know. That is very poorly worded, though. I completely misread that, I guess. They should really just change it to you can no longer crit, but for every 1% crit chance, you get power. They should really change that. First, people want to build one crit item. I mean, that's fair, I guess. What's up, Scott? How are you today? That shit is written so poorly, though. Illiterate? What do you mean? It's just written awfully. Anyways, Draconum. More power. Missing HP. Skills from missing health to bonus power. I don't even know what the passive is. It's like you get a kill, you get 12% missing HP. I still don't know if you would even build this at all. We're 5 times damage now. Someone who builds like 200 power instead of doing 300, it's 350. That's if you have 100% crit, though. You're not building 100% crit with on hit. If you're building on hit, you're going like Kingsbane, Stormbreaker, like Sky Splitter. Like you're not really going full crit, right? So like, how much power are you actually gonna get from it? Unless you're going full power and crit, or like full on hit with crit. I don't know. That item's interesting. I have to actually. I don't play ADC. I would have to run the numbers on that in practice at some point when the patch drops. I think it's written so poorly, though. Legacy, Resolute passive. I don't even know what the Resolute passive is. You build it for CC immunity. It procs higher, though. That's good. Mutilator, less haste, more Omnivamp. Buff to crunch. Might actually be a buff to, like, Grux as well. It's like 75, yeah, but you also lose a lot of damage on the passive too. I don't know. Like I said, that one's I'd have to feel that one out in game. Overlord, bludgeon passive, gain 2.5% bonus health, physical power. So instead of doing AoE damage based on your power, I wonder if does it still have cleave? I wonder if it still has cleave. I assume it does, but you just get power based on your health. This is like. I mean, it's like pretty similar. It doesn't really change that much. It's like the same thing, isn't it? The health to on hit was removed. Isn't this like pretty much the same thing though? I guess you get a little bit less overall, right? Because you get the scaling debuff depending on your character, like because your character has different scaling numbers. It's interesting though. I don't think that really changes that much though. At least on hit. Make your abilities better. That's fair, actually. It does make your abilities better. That is true. That's very true. That's a very good point. I mean, it just seems like a rampage buff. Why are we buffing rampage? I kid. Uh, Tainted Blade. I didn't even know Tainted Blade had a cooldown, to be honest with you. Hex added flat physical damage on ability hit removed. Cooldown removed. I'm confused as to what this means. Oh wait, this is the Tainted... I was thinking Nex. I assume this is part of Tainted Blade. Never mind. I'm dumb. I don't build Tainted Blade at all. I know that does flat damage on hit, though. Interesting that they removed it, though. Astral Catalyst buffed, Spell Slinger, passive removed. Is this the one that you get? Hold on, let me look at the game real quick, because I actually don't even know what that passive is. Astral Catalyst. Takedowns refund. No. This is the, you get increased magical power. Okay. They removed the magical power, but give you upfront. Item is still bad, I'm gonna be honest. Unless they give it another passive, this item is still bad. I'm pretty sure this is actually just less. This is actually just worse. This actually just makes it worse because you got 9% power. Was it power or damage? You got 9% magical power, so this is actually just worse. Late game, better early, worse late. Weird. They just shifted this a little bit, gives a little bit more power. You no longer get haste from it though. Kind of a nerf late game. Dreambinder, increase the health, lower the thaw passive. I think thaw is the one where you do more damage. Interesting. Kind of a nerf to Morgesh, I guess, if you go that way, or like Gideon. That was increased damage. That's what I figured. I mean, it's just like kind of a nerf, giga nerf to Dreambinder, even though I don't really feel like people built it anyways because it was just worse than some of the other items. That means it was competing kind of with Worldbreaker. Now it just actually does not at all. I wonder if they nerf Worldbreaker as well. Golem's Gift. Nobody builds this item anyways. Casting abilities now refresh one stack per cast up to a maximum of 5. I don't know if that makes a difference, but it could on like a bruiser character. Lifebinder, more HP, more power, more lifesteal, more health. No haste. This could be nice. 50% lifesteal is actually kind of a lot. I'd have to try that one on like Shimmy and stuff. When's this coming? Tuesday. Magnify, more attack speed, less haste. I'm not a big fan of the magical auto attack items. I'm gonna be honest. I just think they kind of suck. I would kind of just like them to be actual magical items. But I digress. I'm not even gonna get into this item. I think the same way about the other one. Current health damage increased, bonus magical damage removed. Kind of a big nerf to bursty characters, but a buff to like poke characters, I guess. I don't know. Definitely a nerf overall. Hurts it more as like a late game. Still a really good item though. Prophecy buff. Again, I'm not really a big fan of these like auto attack items. You get more ability haste based on your attack speed. Doesn't this do the opposite? Don't you get haste based on your, or don't you get attack speed based on your haste, so then they feed into each other? Is that what this is? Or they just reworked it? Never mind. I thought this was being added. So now you get haste based on your attack speed instead of the other way around. I think. Which I think is a nerf. Magical armor increased on Spellbreaker. Might be a little better now. Tainted Scepter. Added Pen. That's kind of a giga buff, actually. 5 Pen is really nice. Especially with all of the characters getting more magical damage now. Damage reworked from true to magical. Kind of a nerf there. You do a lot less damage, but you do get the pen, so the pen actually might make it a lot better. More pen is always nice, I think. More options. Also means you can go 3 flat pen items now, maybe. And just skip Caustica in games where you're against squishy characters. Worldbreaker, more power. 2% max HP to 4% bonus health. This is good. This means it's better on tanks, but it's worse on like mages, which is good. Don't know if it affects it on characters like Gideon. I'd have to run the numbers on like if you have True Silver with it. Don't feel like doing the quick maths. Crystalline, lower cost, increase health, lower magical armor. Volatile, I think, is the one where you do damage. Get magical armor per stack. Maximum stacks gain 15% movement speed. Reducing magical damage. Stacks staying up 6 times. Stacks can only be gained once every 5 seconds. Does it do anything other than just getting magical armor? This just seems like Void Helm, but worse. Oh, it's replacing? Wait. Are they changing Void Helm passive? This literally just is Void Helm passive, but without regen. Am I missing something? I feel like I'm missing something. You could get like Giga Fast though with Void. If they didn't change Void Helm, you could actually get Giga Fast. Void Helm reworked. I figured. We'll get to that when we get to it. Dynamo reworked to support. Cost 200 less. 100 less HP. 20 less armor. More haste. Kind of nuts actually. Mobilizing enemy causes them to take 10% increased damage. I actually like that. Instead of taking bursty damage, they increase the damage they take. I like that. That's a good change. Flux Matrix, lower the cost. So now it's more... Okay, so if I get like Dynamo and then Flux Matrix as like a Richter, I'm just beating your ass is basically what this is. Have fun. Brass Guard, more armor, less haste. Increase the radius on it though, that's actually kind of nice. No movement speed slow, so just attack speed slow. Just like Witchblade from Smite, that's what this reminds me of. And you still get attack speed reduction. Interesting. I feel like that could be good. Let's regen on Raiment. Par for the course for another Raiment nerf. Stonewall more health, less scaling. Stonewall still Giga busted. Confirmed. Tenured Guard, less haste, more armor. The passive scales a little bit more. Probably good, honestly. Although more power also means that you get more damage from the thing already. Richter already beating ass? That he is. That he is. Void Helm reworked as expected. Less cost, less health, more armor, less haste. 2 passives. 10% increased healing. Immobilizing an enemy hero restores 3% of your max health over 4 seconds. I assume that the 10% healing counts for itself. It also seems to only be your self-healing. It only increases your own healing, not your allies' healing. Which means this will be pretty good on, like, Sevarog, surely. Or, like, Steel that applies a lot of CC, Richter, maybe. Also means that you get healed more, so if you're getting pocketed by a phase, potentially you could be getting crazy heals. No cap. Interesting. I feel like this one's one I have to feel out as well. Bug fixes, controller triggers now correctly cycle between players in replay mode. Warrior style not correctly respects hero outlines. I don't even know what that means. I feel like it's fine. That's a crazy big patch, dude. A lot of base number changes. A lot of base number changes. Nerfs to like every role, basically. I think one thing I wanted to see. They didn't change Caustica, right? They just changed the tier 2. Did I pass mid? Where's mages? Carry, nobody cares about carries. Fighters. They didn't change regular Caustica, right? No. Okay, they just changed the tier 2. That's what I wanted to see. Like the Sev buffs. Yeah, they really did buff Sev. He's actually going to be nuts in jungle now, though. I think Sev jungle, it's a